It was a great game, man. Battle of two top five teams, and I thought we competed at a really high level. Did some really good things on both ends, and um, just got to be a little bit better in the last war. We thought we were in a good position to bring it home, and basketball's a game of runs, and they had theirs towards the end there, and we just got to be a little better in the closing stretch.
You finished with 30, a career high, and it seemed like you were pretty dialed in from the start. What did this game mean to you personally, and why were you able to be as effective, maybe driving, as you've been all season?
Just been working hard, man. Every day in practice, working out by myself, stuff like that. Just trying to be prepared for the moment. Credit to my teammates helping me out, giving me confidence. Credit to the coaches putting me in them positions. And I was able to knock some down and put some in the rim today. And unfortunately, it wasn't enough. So we're gonna get back to work tomorrow.
Next up, Clay Hall. Clay?
Dwayne, incredible basketball game. You were able to cool them off in the second half. I felt like their size was the difference. What do you think? Because Dickinson was very effective.
Yeah, they have great size. That's what they pride themselves on. They're long, from the 2 up to the 5 man. So, we knew that going in. We knew that they were going to be a real physical team. We were going to have to be more physical than them. And I felt like at stretches we were. I definitely do. They had some huge rebounds late, some momentum shifting rebounds that went their way, and they fought hard for those. And credit to them, they're a really good basketball team, and we'll definitely see them again.
Exactly. Was that said in the locker room that you'll definitely, or it feels like you'll meet them in 2 or 3 or 4 weeks? Who knows?
Nah, we just know what we're capable of and what our plan is to do here, and everybody wishes we can get this one back, and yeah, that's about it.
Next up, Bill Landis with The Athletic. Bill?
Hey, Dwayne, when a guy like Hunter Dickinson requires as much attention as you guys were giving to him when you run a defensive end, just how much more pressure does that put on you guys as perimeter players to locate the shooters? And I don't know, how did you kind of weather them making 70% of their three-pointers in the first half?
Yeah, they did a great job shooting the ball in the first half. Credit to them. I didn't feel like our details were great. They had a lot of rhythm threes, shots that we'll make as well at a high level. So, you give them those, you get them rolling, and 10 threes in the first half is unacceptable, and it's tough to win games like that. So we're going to link back up, grind this week, and got a big one on Thursday.
Next up, Stephen Means with Cleveland.com. Stephen?
Dwayne, this game and the Iowa game, where it's literally just shot making in both those games, and obviously you won one of those, you lost today. I guess how much of a tournament feel did these two games kind of give you guys as a team?
Yeah, I'll say that every interview. The Big Ten is the best basketball conference in the country. Teams are really, really good, and they've been all year. And this is the time when the teams are at their best going into March. Everybody knows March Madness. Last year we didn't have one, so teams are prepping and preparing themselves at a really high level to take part in that. And some really high level competition, some high level guys, and we're just gonna keep doing what we do, playing how we play, and working hard.
I'm sorry, Dwayne. Can Ohio State Athletics, who's that is, can you mute your? Sorry about that. Bill, did you get your question answered? Landis?
Yeah, I'm good. That was Steven who asked that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Steven, you okay?
Yeah, I got the check.
Okay, we're gonna go one more question with Dwayne. Bruce Hooley from Press Pros. Bruce?
Dwayne, you've talked before about your role on this team being an encourager to make guys make shots and things like that. Do you have anything to say to Justice after the game? I know that's a play he made along the wing that ended up being a big play in the game that he'd like back.
Yeah, it's I've been in that position, man. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was obviously younger, and everybody makes mistakes, man. I know he's gonna get Twitter beefed and everybody telling him to do whatever things to himself, all this kind of crap. And that's the beauty of playing here and at a high top major school and um, a really good school at that. So he just needs to keep his head on straight, man. I talked to him a little bit. He played a good game, just shots didn't go in, man. And one little mistake towards the end is not why we lost the game. Simple. So whoever says that's not the truth, and I'm gonna have his back on that. Definitely could have played better, but everybody could have. So I'm definitely gonna just keep talking to him and tell him that it's not over, it's not done. Keep your head up. We need you this year. We need you for the rest of the year. We always have. So he'll be fine. He'll be back better than ever.
Great. Dwayne, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Okay, we're going to open up the floor now. Questions for EJ Lidell. We'll open it up with Rob Aller from the Dispatch. Rob?
Hey, EJ, their size, it's something you guys just never really totally got comfortable with. How challenging was that, especially the big man?
They're a good team. I mean, we didn't adjust, and we should have adjusted more and focused on the defense end more. And yeah, they just scored more points than us tonight.
You guys have bounced back really well this year. What's it going to take to bounce back after something like this?
We got to go back, watch the film, see what we need to do better, and then push that towards practice the next time we practice and go out there and work on our mistakes and hopefully go win next Thursday.
Next up, we'll go back to Stephen Means with Cleveland.com. Stephen?
EJ, for the most part, you were able to get your shot off on him, but he got you a couple times with some blocks. How hard is it to get your shot off on a guy who's 7'2" consistently throughout the game?
Yeah, he's a big dude, and he's probably like 5-6 inches taller than me, and I just have to adjust. And sometimes I didn't, sometimes I did, and I feel like I did well most of the game on that.
Next up, Patrick Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
EJ, what's the outlook coming out of this for you guys? Do you feel like, hey, we know we can hang with this type of team? Is it more so, just straight disappointment? What was kind of the mood in the locker room? What were the conversations like?
I mean, we can hang with them, and we showed that, but we just didn't make a miss. They were out there making tons of shots. We didn't make a miss. We made a lot of shots ourselves, but just giving up that many threes to them in the first half and not making a miss did it.
And I know you guys have played Iowa, Illinois, some other top teams, but playing a top 4 team in terms of the rankings, a team that is also projected as a number 1 seed, how much of this is a learning experience for you guys of what those top teams are like to go against?
You see what we got to go up against at the highest level. I mean, they're ranked number 3 for a reason. Really good team, but we just can't give up 92 points again.
Next up, Adam Jardy with the Dispatch. Adam?
EJ, I'm wondering if you could take us through a little bit the huddle with 4 minutes to go. CJ had just driven. He's going to the line for 2 free throws. It's a three-point game at that moment. What did it feel like in that moment? What were you guys talking about for that last 4-minute war?
It was no pressure. Everybody just emphasizes winning time. And these situations, we come out on top. And we just had to execute, get stops, and that's just not how it went tonight.
Did that feel any different than some of the recent games you've had where it's been tight and you guys maybe put it away late? Did the conversation feel any different, or did you feel like more like ready for the moment than you have earlier in the season?
I felt like we approached it every other game that is winning time. But, I mean, it shows why they're the number 3 team. Really good team.
And final questions for EJ comes from Bruce Hooley from Press Pros. Bruce?
It's on mute right now. I can't hear you.
Bro,
I didn't have my hand up, Jerry. You can give it to someone else.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, we'll go ahead and end it right there with EJ. EJ, thank you very much.
All right, cool. Thank you.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Would you like to make an opening statement or go straight to questions?
No, yeah, I can make a statement. Yeah, I think, listen, hard fought game. I thought both teams, both teams competed. Both teams were really good offensively, really made shots. Give them credit. I think you got to give them credit. I think they were able to get enough stops there when we were we turned it over. They had a couple offensive rebounds in a key sequence, and I think ultimately that was the difference. But give them credit. I think they deserve the credit for winning the game, and we'll give them that, and we'll try to figure out how to improve and move forward.
Great, thank you. We're going to go ahead and open up the floor with questions. Clay Hall, Channel 6. Clay?
Chris, yeah, you can play as well and shoot it as well and defend, et cetera, but sometimes size can be a big factor. How big was it? Just seemed like Dickinson, was just a little bit too tough down the stretch.
Yeah, he's a really good player. He's a really good player, and I thought his length and size at the end of the day bothered us. So we'll have to figure out how to do a better job of that in certain situations. Give them credit. I think the shooting around him makes the way they pass it and shoot it around them. They've got an older team that you can tell has played together and won. They've got some guys that have played together and won, obviously at a really high level, given what that program has done in the last 5 to 8 years. And I think you see that with a guy like Livers, who's just really been important for them. And then their older transfers really help them. But yeah, he's a load inside, and I thought we were able to attack him in certain ways and make it difficult for him. But at the end of the day, I thought it just wasn't quite enough.
The quality of basketball, did you ever look? I started to think, how can the national championship game be any better than this for 37, 38 minutes? It was lights out, it felt like.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to feel that way being on the losing end of it. But it was a game certainly that was played with great pace and for the most part, really good execution offensively. Guys made a lot of shots. There's no question, Clay. Guys made a lot of shots, but we'll see. We got to figure out how to move forward.
Next up, Whitney Harding. Whitney.
Hey, Chris, you mentioned that guys made a lot of shots. Did you expect them to hit threes like they did in the first half?
They've got a good shooting team. Some guys numbers were better in the first half than they were making shots at a higher clip maybe than what their percentages have shown, Whitney. But some of it was a byproduct, and I've got to look at it, but some of it was a byproduct of us being in scramble situations, worrying about the big fella too much. And some of it was they made some tough shots. They did make some tough shots. To make 10 threes and for it to only be a 2-point game obviously meant we were scoring it as well. I thought it was able to level out a little bit going 1 of 10 in the second half. I thought CJ's ball pressure at the point of attack helped. But, again, give them credit. They made some hard ones, and then some of it was our poor coverage.
And then did you say anything to Justice after the game or after that play late in the game?
Which play are you talking about?
The turnover right past half court that led to
we just had a poor execution. So we were talking about the execution on that particular play. We just had we were trying to get what we want. I think we would have got it. He just made a read. I'm not quite sure why he made the read, but that was the conversation.
Next up, Adam Jardy with the Dispatch. Adam.
Yeah, Chris, you get 30 from Dwayne and 23, I think, from EJ, and CJ gives you 13, and then after that, it kind of dropped off. Did they do can you speak, I guess, maybe to the job that they did taking away some of your other guys? Like, it seemed like Justin was able to get comfortable, and you didn't get maybe the across the board production that you've gotten in some other games.
Yeah, they're a good defensive team, and I had no issue with our attack, Adam. Offensively, I thought we played really well offensively. We kind of took what was there. Our guys made plays. Um, you know they, they were obviously smothering Justin, and he wasn't able to get some freedom. Kyle, I thought they did a good job being physical with him on a couple of his deep post ups, so he wasn't as effective as he normally was, and a couple of other guys I think had maybe a little bit off nights. But listen, I had no issue with our overall offensive attack. I thought it was really good. It was the other end that didn't allow us to win the game.
And you mentioned them having some key rebounds late. There was the possession. You were tied at 69, and I think they got like 6 offensive rebounds and scored. Did that feel like a turning point to you?
Well, I think it certainly it was an important moment. I don't ever look at it as necessarily a turning point, but I thought it was an important moment where, we can't be good teams and allow that number of shots on goal. So, that's we got to do better at coaching and playing that.
Next up, Stephen Means with Cleveland.com. Stephen.
Coach, now that you've played Hunter and Luka and Kofi, and obviously you'll play 2 of those guys again, I guess what makes Hunter kind of unique from those 2? I guess what makes him a problem in ways that maybe those other 2 don't?
Well, they're all a problem, Stephen. Yeah, they're all a problem. I'd just be honest with you. They're all a problem. They're some of the best bigs in the country. So I wouldn't necessarily give he played well, but Kofi's a nightmare matchup. So is Luka. So I think it's just collectively we got to find ways to defend those guys better individually and collectively.
Next up, Spencer Holbrook with Letterman Row. Spencer.
Chris, you talked about this team as a legitimate national title contender, and you guys hung with them for 38 and a half minutes and seemed like the entire game. How long does it take you to kind of sit back and make this as like a measuring stick for where you guys are as a team right now?
Yeah, I understand the question. I think my focus right now, Spencer, is just going to be on, areas that we can improve and grow and get better. There are things that we can do as coaches to put our guys in a little bit better position defensively. That's really what I'm going to do. I think in terms of a measuring stick, I do think they're good. There's no question. I think they're good and they're deserving of everything that comes their way. But my focus is our team, and I think we're a good team as well. There's no question we're a good team. But I think improvement. We need to be better come Thursday night in certain areas.
Next up, Bill Landis with The Athletic. Bill?
Chris, you mentioned they were 1 for 10 from 3 in the second half. Did you feel like you guys were better in your rotations defensively in the second half, and you were getting, I don't know, maybe the guys you wanted to shooting the ball on that end as opposed to the first half?
I think it was that. I think having CJ defend the ball helped us. And we tweaked our ball screen coverage a little bit. And then I do think they missed a couple that were open that they made in the first half. I think it was, after just seeing it live, I think it was a combination of all that.
And as you're getting to this time of year, and I know it's always about matchups, right? When you get to this deep in the season, and maybe Michigan has some tougher matchups for you guys and other teams might, but just when you get in those situations, maybe it's an obvious thing, but just how much more important is it to be keyed in on the details, especially on the defensive end, when you know that they're just going to have some guys that one-on-one are going to be tough matchups for you guys?
Yeah, no, I think it's paramount. It's paramount. We were playing one of the best offenses in the country, and obviously their defensive numbers are exceptional as well. It's paramount. So I think that's an area we can improve in. I think we did some good things. There's no question. We did some really good things. But I think a couple of our errors there throughout the course of the game were just too much to overcome. So Yeah, it's critical. We've talked about it. Our margin for error defensively is small. It is very small. So our attention to detail has to be really, really good.
Next up, Colin Hasshill with 11 Warriors. Colin?
Chris, you've been semi-optimistic sort of this year about being able to defend true fives. And obviously it didn't go the way that you wanted tonight. How much better do you feel like, just given the way that the roster is constructed, you don't have anyone the size of Hunter, that if you're matched up with others like him, you can ensure it doesn't go this way again?
We'll have to look at some things. Yeah, we'll have to look at some things and see. Again, I think a lot's being made of that, but I think there were other guys that impacted us in a significant way that we have to try to take away. So, I think we were also able to attack him in areas, and I think that's always something I think that gets forgotten about is we were also able to really attack him in specific areas and play that to our advantage. And that's, what you have to try to do when maybe you don't have quite the same size.
Next up, Patrick Murphy, 24/7 Sports. Patrick?
Chris, you talk about the defense needing to get better, and you have some guys that don't maybe have the offensive night you want. It's still a game down till that last 4-minute war. And you talk about not getting high, not getting too low. So how do you come out of this when you look at your team, just right now as you walk off the floor? What's your thought about where you guys are and where you want to get?
Listen, disappointed. Yeah, disappointed. There's no question. You lose a game, you're disappointed. I think the expectation for us is that we were going to play well. I think in spots we did play well. We didn't finish the game well enough. So I'm disappointed myself. I thought our guys competed and battled. There's no question. This team has an unbelievable connection. We played the right way offensively. I thought we had a great spirit about us, but it's disappointing. So that's the overall sentiment. And we'll figure out as coaches what we can do to move forward and get better. Give them credit. Give them credit for playing well, give their team credit. I think they deserve it.
We'll go with a couple more questions. Up next, Brendan Gulick with Buckeyes Now on Sports Illustrated. Brendan?
Hey, Chris, I'd like to ask you about Justin Ahrens, and obviously, he didn't have a great night shooting the ball. He was only out there for 15 minutes, but maybe more on the defensive end. It felt like he was not in some critical defensive situations. And I know at times this year he struggled a bit on the defensive end of the floor. Where do you want to see him get better so that he can be on the floor in critical minutes late?
Yeah, no, I just thought we need a little bit more size and rebounding for some of those possessions late. His attention to detail has been great. I think he's been locked in terms of getting better. I thought, we wanted a little bit more size and rebounding with some of the things we were doing defensively.
And how's Kyle after the little collision he had there toward the end?
I think he's okay. Again, obviously Musa was out and Kyle was, I think we expected him to be able to go, but there was a little bit of a concern that he may not be able to go in this one. So he's got to get some rest here between now and Thursday.
Next up, Phil Harrison with Buckeyes/USA Today. Phil?
Hey, Coach, keep talking about the defensive end and the need to get better on defense. And today you've gotten away with it, right, with the offense that's been thrown out there. 87 points, you expect to win a ball game. And I know, sure you've been working hard out on a practice and people are really working hard to get better defensively. Do you think giving up 92 points to Michigan maybe gives you a little bit more in the sense of listening at practice and maybe some guys tuning in a little bit better on the defensive end?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think we've been ringing that bell for a few weeks right now with some of our numbers. We'll see. We'll see if we can make improvements in those areas. And that's on us as coaches and players. Again, I don't think this team necessarily has the potential to be elite defensively. I do think we need to get better.
Thanks, Coach.
And we're going to wrap up the questions for Coach Holtman today, going back to Adam Jardy with the Dispatch. Adam?
Chris, we ask you a lot when Dwayne has a tough game. Feels only right to ask you when he has a game like this. Seemed like especially from two. He's able to drive and just be more effective. I know that's been a little bit of a trend recently, but can you just speak to what he was able to give you today in a high-level game to get 30 from him on the number of shots he took?
Yeah, no, I think Dwayne's been really, really locked in. He's been really committed to growing as a player. He's been really committed to playing the right way. I thought, again, we really played connected offensively. We really played as we have, for a number of, for the entire season, particularly here in the last couple months. I think that I have to go look back and kind of grade his, overall performance. It's what we do. I think there's things that get lost right on first look or people who, don't have a chance to study it like we're going to. So I'll go back and look at it. I thought he had a critical turnover too, but Dwayne was terrific. Our guys today got no fault with their competitiveness, their the spirit they played with. No fault at all. We just, unfortunately, we got beat by a good team, and we got to figure out how to move forward from it.
And can you give us an update long term on Musa? Is this an injury that could linger, or?
He's got large, significant amount of swelling in his ankle, significant from after the game until all the way to this morning. So we'll see if that when that goes down.
Thank you,
Coach. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Okay.